Welcome to the ARVAH Hopkins generating station. This is an industrial environment where our business is to generate electric power. We have a total of 8 generating units at this facility. Unit 2 is our largest unit. This combined cycle unit gets power from both a GE7FA combustion turbine as well as a steam turbine. The exhaust from the gas turbine enters a heat recovery steam generator pronounced HRSG or HRSG to make steam. The steam is then used to drive Unit Number 2 steam turbine. Unit 2A also has its own generator. We have 2 aeroderivative GE LM6000 fast-start gas turbines. These engines are actual aircraft engines modified for stationary use. Each unit is capable of generating approximately 50 megawatts of electric power. The newest addition to our peaking fleet is 5 reciprocating engines. These Wärtsilä 18V50 SGs produce 18.8 megawatts of power and can be online in under 1 minute. We also have a remote generating site at Substation 12. 2 smaller Wärtsilä 18V50 SGs producing 9.3 megawatts are installed here. They generate power for system needs and can also power critical loads in the area. Our business is electric power generation. However, the safety of our employees, visitors, and contractors is our #1 priority. I would like to take just a moment to inform you of some of the potential hazards associated with this facility. The most obvious hazard is electricity. The electrical voltages in this facility range from 5-volt control circuits to 22,000 volts from the output of our generators. Plant piping systems contain water, steam, natural gas, lube oil, hydraulic fluids, anhydrous and aqueous ammonia, and various other chemicals used to purify the water we use to make steam. Depending upon the particular system, these piping systems may be at very high pressures and very high temperatures. And your sponsor will identify these systems and potential hazards located in and around your immediate work area. All employees performing work are required to follow the written safety programs that at a minimum meet the requirements of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration and the City of Tallahassee Safety Policy, along with implementing measures to create a universal awareness which promotes safe practices at the work site and strives towards the achievement of zero incidents. Again, welcome to the Hopkins generating station. We hope your stay with us will be enjoyable and safe. Access to Hopkins Power Plant will be granted only through the front security gate Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our security guard will greet you and provide a sign-in sheet that will need to be filled out prior to entry and signed out prior to exit. On occasion, it may be necessary to enter the plant site outside of normal business hours, such as during extended outages, emergencies, or weekends. If this should occur, please press the call button outside the closed gates and our operations crew will grant you access provided you're authorized to be on site. Please abide by our 15 miles per hour posted speed limit. This is an industrial facility with blind spots and intersecting roads where many different types of vehicles are being operated at all times. Be cautious and on the lookout for pedestrians, utility vehicles, forklifts, and other automobiles. As a general rule, visitors and contractors will be assigned a sponsor or project manager who will become your single point of contact while you are here at the Hopkins generating station. This person will ensure that you are aware of any site-specific safety requirements, location of your work assignment, and where to find the restrooms. Your sponsor or project manager will also be your escort when one is needed. They will also assist you with any documentation requirements related to your work or visit. If you have any questions, contact your sponsor or project manager first. If they can't provide you the answers you need, they will know who can. Be sure to obtain your sponsor or project manager's contact information. To ensure your safety, all employees are expected to have and use the appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, for the work you are performing. At a minimum, all employees and contractors are expected to wear hard hats, safety glasses with side shields, and hard-toed shoes. Depending upon the work you are performing, additional PPE may be in order. Your employer is responsible for providing your personal protective equipment. Employees failing to utilize the appropriate personal protective equipment required by OSHA or Hopkins local safety rules will be asked to leave the facility. Major trauma kits are located in the control room as well as the first-floor pump room. This includes oxygen and burn kits. The automated external defibrillator, AED, are located in the control room and the RICE mechanical room. Hopkins employees are trained in first aid and CPR but are not rescue teams. Eye wash stations and safety showers are available on site. Your sponsor will inform you of where they are located. Let's take a few moments to talk about some of the emergency situations that may arise in the plant and how you need to respond to those emergencies. Regardless of where in the plant your assigned work is located, you should ensure that you can establish communications with the control room. Communication may be through PA stations located throughout the plant, plant-issued radios, telephone, or cell phones. From facility telephones inside the plant, you only need to dial the 4-digit extension for the control room, 5877. If you need to call the control room from your cell phone, you will need to dial the whole 10-digit number, 850-891-5877. It is important to verify that you can establish communication with the control room from the field. Test it. Your life could depend on it. The first emergency we will discuss is fire. Once you arrive on location for your work assignment, check the area to locate all emergency fire-related equipment and all potential escape routes. The emergency fire-related equipment may be fire alarm pull stations, hand-operated fire extinguishers, automatically operated CO2 systems, and automatically operated water sprinkler systems. In general, if you are working in an area that is protected by an automatically controlled CO2 system, the system will be disabled and valved out of service while you are working, in which case, depending on the nature of your work, you may be required to keep a hand-operated fire extinguisher on hand. In the event of a fire and the automatically operated CO2 system is not taken out of service, an alarm will sound a few seconds before the system discharges. Vacate the area immediately and notify the control room. Use the appropriate hand-operated fire extinguishers on all incipient stage fires and notify the control room. An incipient stage fire is a fire in its beginning stages and can easily be extinguished with a hand-operated fire extinguisher. If the fire persists and grows beyond what can be extinguished with hand-operated fire extinguishers, vacate the area and notify the control room. In case of fire or any other emergency anywhere in the plant, upon notification, the control room will sound an alarm over the PA system. Following the alarm, control room personnel will make an announcement over the PA system identifying the location of the fire or other emergency, whether evacuation is necessary, and where the evacuation assembly point will be. Should any emergency situation require evacuation, there are 2 assembly areas. The first assembly area is in the gravel area in front of Building 1 parking lot. The second is located inside the perimeter gate of the contractor entrance by number 2 cooling tower. Proceed to the appropriate assembly area quickly. It is here that all personnel will be accounted for. Remain in the assembly area to await further instructions or until the all clear is given. We have anhydrous and aqueous ammonia on site. You should be aware of the ammonia system locations in relation to your work area, and you should note the wind direction. An unscheduled release of ammonia will be noticeable by its distinctive odor and possibly a low-hanging white vapor cloud. Should such an event occur, vacate the area immediately and notify the control room. In vacating the area, ensure that you move crosswind and upwind of the ammonia vapor cloud as quickly as possible to eliminate or reduce any potential exposure. Proceed to the emergency assembly area if possible. Depending on your work location and the wind direction, your escape route to the designated assembly areas may be blocked. In this case, move to a safe location and notify the control room of your location and account for those working with you. Safety procedures at Hopkins Generating Station. At the beginning of each shift for any work assigned to you at the Hopkins Generating Station, you will be required to fill out and submit to operations for approval a Safe Work Permit or Job Safety Analysis form. If your company has developed its own JSA form, you may use it. If you don't have a JSA form, we will provide you with a generic form. No work shall begin until the Safe Work Permit has been presented to operations and approved. When the work is completed or at the end of your shift, you must return to operations and cancel the Safe Work Permit. You must submit a new Safe Work Permit for approval at the beginning of each shift, each day, or each new job assignment. If any equipment requires the removal of stored energy, whether it be electrical, hydraulic, temperature, or any other form of energy that potentially presents a hazard to you or to the equipment, a lockout/tagout permit or clearance will be required. A confined space is defined as any space not intended for continuous employee occupancy and having limited means of egress, and which is also large enough and so configured that an employee can bodily enter and perform assigned work. Entry into a confined space is only permitted after a confined space permit has been issued or if the control room operator declares it a non-permitted entry space. A hot work permit is required for any assigned work that utilizes an open flame or produces sparks. This may also include the utilization of open-type electrical hand tools, where the sparks of the brush and commutator are open to the atmosphere. The hot work permit aims to prevent fires and explosions. Before starting any hot work, make sure to remove all combustible materials from the area. Additionally, contact the control room to request a hot work inspection and obtain the required permit. Please note that there are 2 designated areas on the plant site where a hot work permit is not required: the maintenance shop and the welding shop. If your work assignment requires excavation, groundbreaking, trenching, or shoring, you will be required to obtain an excavation permit. The excavation permit is issued by the operations control room operator. As a general rule, contractors are not allowed to use plant mobile equipment. Contractors generally provide their own mobile equipment needs. Instead, contractors should provide their own mobile equipment. However, in rare and unforeseen circumstances where the use of the plant's mobile equipment is necessary, special permission may be required. If the need for the equipment is only for a very short durations, plant personnel may operate the mobile equipment on your behalf. We are now going to go over the environmental requirements for use and disposal of chemicals and oils located on site. All chemicals used on site which has the potential of off-site discharge must be pre-approved by the Department of Environmental Protection. Most of these chemicals are used in cooling tower treatment, water chemistry for the boilers, and demineralization system. A comprehensive list of these pre-approved chemicals can be found in the facility's NPDES water permit, which is located on DEP's website or in the plant's electronic filing cabinet. SDS sheets must accompany all chemicals transported on site and a copy given to the plant environmental person. Disposal of non-hazardous chemicals can be transferred to the Spring Hill landfill located in Marianna following DOT regulations, which requires a manifest from the landfill prior to delivery. Accumulated waste oil is stored in a containment area on the south side of the tank yard located between the facility's 2 unloading stations. This containment area is used as an oily filter drain area, oily waste drum collection area, and general used oil holding area. Disposal of the waste oil and filters are done on an as-needed basis. Proper documentation such as manifest and disposal records are provided to the city from a qualified waste oil disposal company, which hauls the waste off-site. Our warehouse is a secure shipping and receiving hub for Hopkins Power Plant. It has 2 points of entry: the front door and rear gate. Visitors will sign in and out if granted entry and must be escorted through the building. We understand on occasion that contractors may have items shipped to the site or may need to ship something from the site. All we ask is that you provide us with sufficient notice and contact information so that we're prepared to accept, unload, and store whatever may be coming. Warehouse delivery times are Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. It is your responsibility to process the appropriate paperwork and schedule your own pickup. If you have any questions regarding warehouse concerns, please feel free to contact our main number at 850-891-5852. If you need any tools or equipment not included in the contract, please contact your sponsor. They may be able to help you coordinate with other teams on site or access the warehouse. The final topic of our safety orientation video focuses on housekeeping. Please refrain from smoking or eating in work areas and always dispose of trash properly. All vehicles parked at work locations must be marked with cones placed at each exposed bumper. Additionally, all vehicle backing maneuvers must have a spotter. It is essential to immediately report any accidents, significant illnesses, injuries, or near misses to your sponsor and the control room. An investigation will be conducted to determine the root cause and to develop and implement corrective action. Individuals should not undertake work for which they are not properly qualified, trained, or equipped to perform. The City of Tallahassee maintains a drug-free workplace. It does not tolerate individuals reporting to work under the influence of alcohol, illicit drugs, prescriptions, or over-the-counter medications that impair their ability to work safely. Furthermore, firearms, weapons, illegal drugs, or alcoholic beverages are prohibited on City of Tallahassee property. Please make sure to report any suspicious behavior. Suspicious behavior may be characterized as actions that are out of place or inconsistent with the environment. Consider what activities the person or persons are engaging in that seem unusual within the immediate surroundings. If any activity appears out of character, it may be considered suspicious. This video covers a lot of information. While it is impossible to address every issue you may encounter at Hopkins Generating Station, we hope this increases your awareness and understanding of the environment in which you will be working. Do not hesitate to ask your sponsor or the shift supervisor if you have any questions. Remember, safety is not an added burden to the job. It is an essential part of the job, and others are counting on you to perform your duties safely. And finally, always use common sense.